There is a string that runs through all of us in this business, and it's this belief in ourselves that we can make this work.
Right.
And everybody has a different angle of attack, but it all goes back to it works because I can make it work. At 21, I made the decision that cash loses value, real estate gains value, and I decided to make a long-term play into real estate. So what I did was I took my 1/4 of the inheritance and leveraged it and bought as much as I could. So I ended up with 7 buildings, and I ended up basically living like a hermit for 7 years, paying off a 25-year AM on 18% interest with a 5-year ARM.
You know, other people would prefer cash in that situation.
My other 3 cousins did. They took the other 3/4 in cash.
Why? What was your mindset? I mean, obviously you just explained that like real estate appreciates over time, but what was your capital position at that time? Were you comfortable from a capital position, or was that a big risk to you to take that and then kind of take it on the chin, but knowing that was going to help you later in life?
At 21, do you think about the rest of your life?
Exactly why I'm asking. Like, how did that pop in your head? Was it your childhood growing up?
It
and
wasn't
seeing
a
these
pop.
deals and
It wasn't a pop.
it's been in your head for a while?
It's DNA.
Right.
It's DNA. I was raised in an environment where it was, we're doing this for the family. There's no one pocket, right? It's one pocket, but everybody can reach in it. And so I saw this as an opportunity to sew together a bigger pocket, or put another pocket on the pair of pants. And so it was natural for me to say, yes, I'm going to acquire these properties. Now, it was at a time where it was very, very difficult to get money. So the first money I got was from SunTrust. The second tranche, we use that word these days, that's a in vogue word. The second tranche was from a guy named Crit Richardson, who was a life insurance company owner over on Broad Street, not far from here, where Estes Express is now.
Yep.
And I walked into his office with a bunch of these legal pads, and I had created this scenario where I explained it. And Crit finally looked at me and said, "How much do you need? Just tell me how much you need. Because if it doesn't work, I'm going to end up with real estate. I'll loan you the money."
Interesting.
So it's sort of a hard money lender perspective, but I knew the guy, right? I didn't know him well. He was older than I, but he knew me. He knew my family. He knew it wasn't a bad bet.
Right.
And so I asked him, "Can I get $250,000? What did I have? I had no real stability. I'm 22 years old, 23 years old going in here doing this, but I had this belief. And I think that's one of the reasons I like this podcast, because as I've watched it, as you put these podcasts out, there is a string that runs through all of us in this business, and it's this belief in ourselves that we can make this work.
Right.
And everybody has a different angle of attack, but it all goes back to it works because I can make it work. And it's that self-awareness and self-belief that one who is in this business must have.
Right.
Those first 7 years were, look, I'm 20-something years old. I'm 21 to 26, 27 years old, 28 years old. I mean, life's fun, right? Punk rocker, hanging out in the fan district. But was I, buying a car? No, no, I wasn't. I was riding a pickup truck that had 100,000 miles on it, or I was riding a 2-door nothing. And I wasn't thinking about, I'm withholding from myself. It was just natural that wasn't important at that point.
Right.
Buying that other piece of real estate was important.
Right.
Buying something that I knew long-term would work. And that comes back to why I was a long-term hold guy from the beginning.